thesmartlocal.com.
Slay accounting.
But team, playership,
Teamworkship.
teamworkship.
Hi guys.
Bye-bye.
Hello.
Hi.
What kind of jobs did you want to go into?
I think during my poly and uni days, I really wanted to be a musician.
Childhood job was to become policeman. Then I actually wanted to become a lawyer.
Okay, when I was younger, right, I studied econs lah.
Yeah.
So my dream was to strut in the CBD area
Oh, yeah,
in
yeah.
my stilettos, looking all hot like an office lady.
Stewardess, got doctor, lawyer, astronaut, teacher. Because of Barbie lor. You know she got 10,000 careers.
Yes.
Since young, I love animals, right? So I thought about being a zookeeper before, marine biologist also before. Because I really like to be in one with nature. But yes, and with animals also.
I wanted to be an actress, businesswoman.
What is the toughest part about job hunting?
The toughest part is to actually start the process. The most difficult part is because of the inertia, that you've been comfortable in your own world for very long.
For me, I disagree. I would say the hardest part is to land the job. Because everything else is within your control, right? I feel like there is something that you can take charge of.
So I think the most difficult part, right, is the waiting game. After you send an email, right, we wait for them to contact you. Will they contact you is another thing.
I think one thing for me also about the culture of the company also. But then the thing is, the culture of the company, you won't know until you are in there.
This is a secret, okay? If you are Amanda, click away now. Because Amanda got say, she picked me, right? One of the reasons is because of my resume. She say very meticulous and good design.
Okay.
It's a template from Canva. She said, wow, it's very creative, the colours.
On this episode of Singaporeans Try, you'll be going for an interview, applying for the role of an accountant, and answering the hardest interview question, after which you will be rated by your interviewer who is a professional accountant.
Like a real legit accountant.
Yeah.
I'm scared. I'm open I'm good with my job now.
Okay, but at least I would say we look the part today lah.
Actually, we look more like makeup dance.
Yeah, we do look like backup dancers eh.
日跟厕所宝瑞色 We're running up the hill We're running up the building We're running up the mountain
Hello.
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 Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Hafiz.
Wesley.
Hi, I'm Gerald.
Nice to meet you.
Good morning.
Hello.
Oh,
nice to meet
hey.
you.
Good morning, nice to meet you. I'm Shamin.
Hi, Wesley. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Hello.
Come take a seat. Maybe if I can get you to share a bit about yourself and also why you're actually leaving your current role and applying for this role.
After Shamin's you, of course.
Yes. I'm sorry, I'm a bit nervous because the last time I had an interview was 5 years ago.
You have to understand she's a bit old. Yeah.
Yes. I feel that because I'm turning 30 soon, I am planning to get married and have babies soon. You know, I've been in the creative industry for a long time. I have always wondered how it would be like to be in a different industry, and I feel that it is now or never.
Actually, I didn't want to leave, but since he's leaving, then I follow along. Because he's my best friend in office.
I see.
Yeah.
I also didn't want to leave, but then because he will leave if I leave, so
Okay, so exploring new opportunities, trying something different.
exactly. Oh, but you said it better.
All right.
My name is Fika. I'm 21. So I can bring a, fun, energetic vibe to a company. Unlike some people, not
That's
sure
not
who.
true.
Not sure who. In secondary school, I used to take POA, and I thought that I should venture out to what I felt was more towards my interests, right?
I would like to cut in and let you know that she took POA and failed. I took POA and passed.
Right. I can do push-ups now. I
can do TikTok.
I can do TikTok as well.
I can dance,
Sorry,
I can sing.
can dance as well. Wait, sorry, singing?
Singing? Yeah. I can feel your halo, halo, halo. Hopelessly devoted. Rap is also
cool.
can. Debit, credit, balance sheet, got to balance. Sorry, this is not financial.
Hi, I'm Kiara. I'm 25 this year. Okay, hi, I'm Gladys, and I'm applying for the role of an accountant because I just want to do something different from my current role.
In the organization, there are multiple different roles within also the finance department. Do you have an idea about what kind of roles you're actually interested in?
Scissors, paper, stone.
Out of 3, please.
No, quick. He got no time.
Sorry, what was the question again?
You see, you never pay
So-
attention.
It's the nerves.
Do you have an idea about what kind of roles that you're interested in?
No.
Is that supposed to be yes?
No, that's okay.
Come on.
Honestly, I have no idea. It's my first time venturing into the finance industry, so I would like to learn more.
So within the finance team, I think there are a couple of different roles in a traditional company that you can think of. Accounts receivables is on the other side, where if you have billed a customer, you want to collect the money back, you chase them
Like
for
the
money.
loan shark, but business from professional, right?
Yeah. You would also have tax specialists, management accounting, FP&A, so financial planning and analysis teams. In whatever you bring to the table, we do try to create value for the company. What would you say are the strengths that you would bring in order to actually create value for the company?
I'm very good at thinking on my. I'm very good at thinking on the on my legs. Thinking on my yes, you put it correct. I'm very good at thinking on my feet. Sorry. Don't laugh.
Bro, you started for 1 minute though. How can I not laugh? So I think I'm a very good team player. What I bring to the table is that I feel like I can motivate those around me and make us work towards the same vision and the same goal that we want to achieve at the end of the day.
I will say that I'm very studious. I will continue to improve my skills. As now I'm always looking to develop myself, advance my qualifications.
Oh no.
Don't break down. Okay.
I can manage other stuff if it's not numerals. Maybe.
I don't think you can manage people at this point.
Sorry,
No.
I'm just under a lot of pressure right now, okay?
I know. I will be there. It's
Okay, what department are you in? I'll join your department
fine.
wherever you
Account
are.
receivable.
Right, okay.
Account receivable.
You know what? I don't care about management anymore. Sorry, I'm account receivable now.
So in my previous job, I was like a writer, and then later I went on to being a social media lead. So I feel like as someone with that experience, it would really help with the accounting side of things because I've handled clients, I've handled people under me. Working in a media industry, we're always on our toes. So I'm always ready for anything that gets thrown at me.
So I'm going to ask you a non-accounting question. How many ways can you think of in finding a needle in a haystack? And we'll just do alternate.
My first answer would be to get a very giant magnet and just find the needle from there.
I think the big question is, why is a needle in a haystack? That is something we have to ponder upon as well, right? So sometimes, if we can even avoid that problem in the first place, you might not even have to come up with solutions. Yeah.
I can run into it and just dig it.
Oh, just put my hand in and...
Oh, I know the answer lah. You take a magnet on top of the haystack and then the thing will go up.
Ah, I will just go and buy another needle for you. Don't need to waste time.
You're so...
Okay, you're also very creative.
I know. I got here before.
Oh.
Sorry.
Okay.
Did I kick you?
No. It's okay. So I think one of the ways that you can think about, whether you might be interested in an accounting role is if you do like logical puzzles, if you like problem solving. Accountants do quite a lot of that in our day-to-day work. With the numbers, if you're able to read the story and actually understand what the company is going through, you can then better make future decisions. So that logical thinking, the ability to process information quickly, will actually then help you in making those future decisions for the betterment of the company. Next question, how comfortable are you in using technology in your job? What kind of applications are you familiar with that you think would be relevant to the role?
Wow.
Technology is our life.
Do you know who we are? We are the youngsters.
Do you know my screen time daily?
Yeah. You want to know anything about TikTok? We can. IG, we can. Maybe Excel spreadsheet, not so much, but Google spreadsheet. 'cause
Google
we use
Slides.
that. Yes, Google Slides. We can make Google Slides very nice because we know how to find templates.
I would say one of the top used apps in my phone is my calculator. crunching the numbers, calculating how much people owe me for lunch and stuff like that.
You can't do mental?
To a certain extent, yes. But when the figures are very big, up to $6.70.
Yeah, I think when you include like the GST
many?
and the service charge, that's when it gets very confusing.
So in accountancy, a lot of times people think that we have to do manual calculations and stuff. Actually, we rely a lot on software and automation today. So whether you're talking about Excel macros, you're talking about robotic process automation, we try to bring this into the daily work to reduce the repetitive functions that we have to perform. So the use of technology is definitely something that we rely on very heavily. And I guess in the finance sector, the industry is evolving, right? So how long do you foresee yourself staying in the industry, and what kind of roles do you think you'll be doing maybe 5 to 10 years' time?
If I would get this job, I think in 5 years I would like to have a little team on my own as well.
It does not make sense to think too far ahead because many things will change throughout the years. 1 year has a lot of change. Like, did we expect a pandemic? No! Thank you very much. And did that change a lot of things? Yes! So should we look like 5 to 10 years ahead? No! We should a little. So I always see 1 year later. So will I still be here 1 year later if you hire me? Yes. Why? Because good for my resume. Not good to quit too early. Yes. So 1 year later, where do I see myself? A manager in training in the accounts receivable department. She will be my assistant.
Yes. Right now, I don't have any financial experience, but then hopefully in 5 years' time, I'm able to be at a level where I can say that I started from the beginning and then I climbed the way up.
So that's all the questions I have for you both today. Do you have any questions for me that I can answer?
This is the time where you got no questions, you must also ask. Otherwise, they will red flag you.
What are you gonna have for lunch?
What's nice around here?
Mi Hong Kueh is nice. Yeah.
Why are you asking us back?
Okay, another question for you.
I know this might be a sensitive question. What is the starting pay like?
So it depends on what kind of roles that you start off with. Again, within the accountancy sector, accounting graduates do have a variety of roles that they can start off in. If you start off in, for example, audit, yes, the pay is perhaps slightly lower than some of your peers at the start, but the increments are a lot higher and you break even very quickly. And in fact, you would surpass then your peers within 5 to 8 years. If you start off, for example, there are accountants who go into consultancy firms, there are accountants who go into banks. Your starting salary would easily be 4,000 or 5,000.
In my previous company, I think I had a pretty good work-life balance. Would it be the same if I joined this industry?
A lot of people think that accountants don't have work-life balance. There are definitely crunch times. So for example, when we have month-end or year-end reporting, there's always a very tight deadline that you have to meet. But I would say this is cyclical and it's a matter of then how you manage the time flexibly. And then after that, you would have a little bit more of a relaxed period.
That's good.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, see you next week in the company. Seems like we are hired.
Y'all go first. Honestly, right, I've been doing so many interviews of interns, but I have not been interviewed in a while. So the feeling is very, very different. For me, yeah, it's like that. I want to say, never ever go for an interview you're not prepared for. Yes. But that being said, I feel like we should always be 100% honest. Yes.
There were some questions that were quite tough, like a bit tricky to answer.
The questions were also quite interesting, especially the ones that required us to think on our think on our on our leg. Sorry, on our.
I mean, guess I'm gonna quit my job here for reals and move there already to be an accountant, to be an account receiver. I think the questions were really more to see how we will react to certain things, whether our values are aligned with theirs, especially in the ethics part of things. And oh my god, I did not expect the needle in the haystack question.
I came prepared.
I did not.
Thank you for watching this episode of Singaporeans Try. If you want to figure out how to kickstart your career in accountancy, don't forget to check the link in the description box down below. And as always, remember to like, share and subscribe.
Ring the notification bell and watch our other videos over there. Bye!
Dab it.
Damn it!
Credit. Balance sheet.